What if a four-engine jet lost power on all four engines at 37,000 feet? Not one engine, not two, all four. On 24 June 1982, a British Airways Boeing 747 was flying at 37,000 feet from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, toward Perth, Australia. Then the aircraft lost power on all four engines. Four engines, one aircraft, no engine power. ICAO records that the powerless descent that followed lasted 16 minutes, taking the aircraft from 37,000 feet down to about 12,000 feet. The first question is obvious. What could produce a failure on that scale? The answer was outside the aircraft, suspended in the atmosphere, and dangerous enough to change international aviation procedures. Before returning to the descent, it helps to understand the hazard itself. WMO states that volcanic ash and gases can affect aviation many hundreds or even thousands of kilometers from the volcano. Those clouds can extend through the depth of the troposphere and into the lower stratosphere. Modern UK CAA guidance also makes an important point. Airborne weather radar systems are not designed to detect volcanic ash clouds. So the scale of the hazard can be far larger than the immediate area around a volcano, while ordinary airborne weather radar is not designed to identify the ash cloud itself. CAA guidance lists possible signs of ash during flight, including smoke or dust in the cockpit, reduced visibility, an acrid or sulfurous odor, static effects around the windshield, changing engine conditions, and unusual light effects. WMO lists possible effects ranging from engine surge, stall or flameout to erosion, blocked filters and pipes, windshield abrasion and corrosion. CAA guidance also warns that ash may enter pitot-static systems or affect the lubrication of moving parts such as gearboxes and bearings. It also states that dust impact can damage airframes and windscreens, with the extent of damage depending on concentration, composition, and impact energy. Most important for this story, volcanic ash can create a common mode failure affecting all engines on one aircraft. That last point is what turns an environmental hazard into a four-engine aviation emergency. The British Airways 747 was at 37,000 feet when power was lost on all four engines. For the next 16 minutes, the aircraft descended without engine power. The documented altitude change was about 25,000 feet, from 37,000 feet to roughly 12,000 feet. No invented cockpit dialogue is needed to make that timeline dramatic. 16 minutes is the fact. The descent continued until about 12,000 feet, the altitude at which ICAO records that 3 engines were restarted. To understand why restart became possible, the cause has to be revealed. The aircraft had encountered volcanic ash from eruptions of Mount Galunggung in Indonesia. WMO states that the investigation found the engines had stalled because they ingested volcanic ash. Before the 1982 Galunggung incidents, known aircraft problems from volcanic ash had generally included abrasive sandblasting effects on cockpit windows and blocked pitot-static tubes. The Galunggung encounters demonstrated a more severe engine threat than those previously familiar forms of ash damage. WMO now lists engine surge, stall, and flameout among the possible effects of volcanic ash, together with erosion, blockage, abrasion,